Hi, I'm here. How are you? What time is it? Okay, at 1 minute, we're going to get started. I don't even know what happened in this episode. It's been a whirlwind of a weekend for me. So if you've been on the ride, thank you. Let's bring up my notes. Let's put down my PayPal if anybody wants to donate. Tip you, girl. Bring that up. Oh, I don't need any of these. Let's delete overlay. Delete overlay. Delete overlay. Delete overlay. I still have 90 Day Fiancé season 9 overlays. Like, I don't need Cara, Guillermo, Thais, Patrick. I don't need none of these fools in here. It's taking up space. We'll get started at 2 minutes. I don't need Benny. I don't need Ari. I don't need any of Seeking Sister Wife. Get out of here. Hi, Connie. Hi, Beth. Hi, Kari. Hi, Chocolate Delight. Hello. We're going to get started in 15 seconds. Let me put some glasses on. I'm very barefaced right now. This looks a little better. Except for they look crooked. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of A 90 Day Fiancé, the UK, Season 1, Episode 8. Who does that to a person? Sean does. Let's start off with our first couple, and that's going to be Victoria and Sean. It's very confusing. Also, it's just these two are very, very confusing for me. Very confusing for me. Because Victoria thought of herself as some kind of homewrecker because she thought that Sean was still married to his ex-wife, or Sean was still married to his ex-wife. And I think it's like, girl, it's not because you thought you were a homewrecker. Really? Is that even a thing? People are like really like stressed out about being homewreckers. You know you're not a homewrecker because I don't know. Unless you are like decisively, actively going after a married man. When he's said, no, I'm married, and you are just like in there like Flynnware. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a homewrecker is such an anti-woman, woman on woman hate thing to say. The man who steps out of his marriage or the person who steps out of their marriage is the homewrecker. It's just dumb. Anyways, so she's over here now feels better because he showed her a document that I guess proves that he's divorced. This is what I feel like when any American asks a foreigner for documentation to prove anything. I always think to myself, why are you asking for documentation? You cannot read it. You're not going to know what it says. They can show you anything. They could just print something off the internet and show it to you. And you'd be, what are you going to be like? Oh, yeah, he showed me papers. I didn't know what it said, but I figured it must be real. No. So then she goes and Googles what a divorce certificate looks like. And she says, well, this one looks like him, except for it has stamps on it. So maybe this is it. And then she's like, but I can never know because he has a problem with telling me the truth. And then she reads that in Japan, if you are married to a foreigner, you can petition for a divorce without them being aware of it. Like they don't have to agree to the divorce. So now she's freaking out, thinking that Sean must have just like usurped and left his wife high and dry in Japan, and she may not know of it. Girl, can you go get some Japanese friends besides Sean to like correct this, or like not correct it, but fact check this? And then she's like, well, I think I'm going to leave for a little bit. I need some time. And then he's like, "Oh, you're gonna leave?" And then she's like, "Yeah, but I'll be back because I know you get like, scared when I'm gone for 3 hours." I'm so confused. Like, is he just okay? Is it one of these situations where he's constantly talking to her and like chitty chatting with her, so she feels loved bombed, and now like she wants to break away from him, but she can't truly because he is so doting and attentive to her. Like he just like wants to be with her the whole time. So then they go to Paris. How either of them can afford this, I do not know. I like to think that Sean is a rich kid. That's my theory. I think that Sean is just from a wealthy family. He's probably like either the youngest or one of the middle children of a wealthy family. And he's just probably just living life off of whatever monies he gets, you know? That's not hard to believe. Everyone wants to think it's something nefarious, but I'm like, he's probably just a rich kid. And so he then like travels around a lot, and Japan has one of the strongest passports in the world, which is very true. I looked it up. The Japanese can travel to almost any country without actually having to get a visa. They just need to like book a flight and go and like talk to somebody at customs. But because I guess he'd been doing a bunch of traveling, customs when they came back from Paris wanted to know like who he was with and what he was doing. And so he's like, "No, I'm traveling by myself," and like whatever, whatever. And Victoria's just got her panties in a bunch, got her knickers balled up because she is like, "You lied to authorities." Aw, poor little Tink Tink. You lied to authorities, this grown woman says, as though like she has never, like she has like only criminals lie to authorities. What if they had opened up your bag and saw my underwear in there? Then they would have known you weren't traveling alone. It's like, girl, no, they would have known that he had woman's underwear or that he likes to wear women's underwear. No one's thinking about you, ma'am. She's so weird. I don't understand her at all. Hi, G. Rodriguez. Hi, Ramsterdam. Hi, Christelle. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Labracina. Hi, Mari Mari. I mean, it was just a lot. She was doing the absolute most, and I never understand where she's coming from, and she gets so frustrated. Hi, Beth. Hi, Dedria. Hi, El Padilla. She's like, "I just don't know what to do with Sean because he just won't tell me the truth. He keeps lying to me." And I said, "Girl, if you want the truth, why don't you speak to somebody who speaks your language? Why don't you talk to somebody who you have the same language as, you have the same culture as?" And he's like, "You're really cute. You're really cute." And she's like, "Oh, you think I'm cute?" And then, so whatever, they get over that. And then he's like, "I want to take you to a crafting place." So they go to a crafting place to do crafts, and she starts to like do the world's corniest jokes. I mean, she gets a like little pizza box looking thing with the pottery already created, and all they have to do is paint it. And she reads the directions. She's like, "Uh-oh, it says only use when you're with an adult." Like that was the joke that like, he's not an adult, or like both of them aren't really adults. And then she's like, "And then it says shake the paint." So they get it and they like shake it. And I'm just like, it just takes all kinds, you know what I'm saying? It just takes all kinds of people in the world to find each other and to love each other. It just takes all kinds, I guess, because their whole entire segment is infuriating. This show has too many couples. Like, you know who we don't need is we don't need Emma and Hoyson, and we don't need Birdie and Hoist and Host. We don't need them. In fact, we don't need Victoria and Sean either. Really, who we need is Richard and Kathleen, Sean and Christine, Pat and Sam. I like. Let me see who else is there. We need Pat and Sam because they're just crazy and interesting, and we need Katie and Alejandro. That's it. We don't need the rest of them. Truthfully, like their stories aren't compelling, or they didn't get enough episodes, or whatever. Like they didn't have enough like information. Like even, you know what, Marvin and Callum for the spice of it, for like just the diversity portion. Okay, I'll accept that. So they just keep going back and forth telling each other that they're cute, and then I'm just like, Why are we here? Why are we here? Okay, so the next couple that we're gonna talk about is Sean. No, let's go. Let's do Sam and Pat right now. I have a hard time, you guys, reconciling this woman referring to this man as her boy toy and in the same breath talking about being a Christian. I just have a hard time with it. It feels very, ooh, my light almost went out. It feels very fake Christian. It feels very predatory. It feels very sex tourist. She's like, he's my best friend. I just love talking to him. And we see the kind of conversations that they have, and they seem very, very surface. I mean, maybe they're having deeper conversations later on. I don't know. So we find out in this episode that Pat has a yacht in Greece, and she often goes there on holidays. And she would like to take Sam on a holiday because he's never left Pakistan. And so it'd be really nice to take him to Greece. I just want this woman to save her. I mean, maybe here's what it is. Maybe this woman has so much money in her retirement that she doesn't know what to do with it, and that even after she's already given like $1 million to her grandchildren and given some inheritance to, her lineage, she would still have more money left over to spend on Sam. I hate to be this way, but this woman is 68 years old, and yes, you should live your life and have fun. But at some point, what about your legacy? I just am like, you're going to spend all this money on this young man to what? Make him love you or find value in you or something? Cuz he doesn't need a vacation in Greece, okay? What has he done to earn a vacation in Greece? He's 20 nothing years old. He's been scamming you for the last year, talking about, "Oh, I'm going to come there and be with you." Or at least that's what you think, and he's telling us that he never promised to be in a relationship with you. You bought him a motorbike. You treat him like a mother. Okay, drive safe, get home safe, make sure you did it. Don't forget to brush your teeth before you go to bed. Like, I just don't get it. And then she's going to say that why would she want an older man? She wants a young man to take care of her. She doesn't want an older man. I mean, I'm like, oh, wow. It's just like ridiculous. So she goes to a consignment store to buy some summer clothes. And listen, I'm not mad at it. It seemed like a good bargain for all the things that she got. That little sparkly, oh, my lighting is bad. I'm gonna have to buy new lighting, you guys. Hold on. Faulty wiring. Can't have that. Thank you, G. Hi, Renee. This is hilarious. Not to be mean. If I were Pat, I'd fix my teeth. I mean, you're not being mean at all. Oh, this picture is really lovely. She's giving like Irish lass, cottage core. I love it. So yeah, I would absolutely fix my teeth if I were her. I would 100% consider it. So, I mean, I'm like, again, if the genders were swapped and this crotchety old 68-year-old man, I mean, who happens to still like dress well and put themselves together, were to then pluck a Pakistani girl from her country, it's like, here's the truth. I don't even know, like, this may be happening and I would love to see it. But I feel like this can only happen with men in Pakistan. I don't feel like women are allowed to just like carry on relationships, and even if they're in secret, like carry on relationships with men. I feel like women would be shamed. I feel like none of their friends they wouldn't that person would not be able to tell their sister, their friend, nothing. They couldn't say, "Oh, I'm going to go to London to be with some man that you guys don't know." Like that could never happen. And so already it feels like sketchy. And now she goes to the consignment store and she buys a sparkly outfit, which I'm not hating on. And then the woman who's ringing her up, she has to, there's always this moment where you have to tell the person who's helping you purchase something or do yoga or like something, all your business. And she's like, yes, I'm gonna go to Greece with my young lover, and then I have a yacht there. And then the woman behind the register looks at her and says, you've got a yacht. How do you have a yacht? What do you mean by that exactly? How do I have a yacht? I got it from my late husband, but that's none of your business. I don't know how she has the yacht either. I just would like to know. Are you at Chris's place or is that a new chair? No, I'm at Chris's place. So I just like really, really taken aback by that claim. I just so anyways, one of her good Judies wants to check out the scene too. And so the good Judy is like, hey, let me meet this man, make sure he's right for you. So she gets on the phone and she's like, are you gonna treat my friend well? Are you gonna love my friend? Huh? You're not using her for the green card or for the money? No, I have trust. I love your friend. You have to trust me. And I'm like, oh, that definitely means he's using her. Because nobody's level-headed when they truly love the person. When they truly love the person and someone asks them about the green card, they flip out all the time. It's like the tactic. But Sam knows that this situation seems sketchy, so he's gonna just be, nice and calm to all the friends. Because he is a scammer. Pat and her friend are very bad actors, lol. Yeah, they really are. She's like, it's also interesting because like they tell the friend, they like set it up and the friend is supposed to come over and just like, hang out with her friend and like have small talk. But the friend comes to the house directly, hugs Pat and is like, "So I don't trust your man." Like comes out of it immediately. They're both not good at the setup. They just start talking about the thing that they're there to talk about immediately, and I love it. So, let's move on. Let's move on to Marvin and Cullum. I don't have a picture of them, one, but I also do not like it when the I don't like it when someone who is supposed to be proposed to like forces the proposal. It can happen. I just don't want to see it because I don't like it. I think it's trashy. So Callum and Marvin are, staying at Marvin's home slash his mother's home. And they go out to go gin tasting, which has got to be very like UK. I don't know. Cuz you go out definitely wine tasting in the US, you 100% go out whiskey tasting. I'm pretty sure you can go out gin tasting. Don't get me wrong. It's just not a thing people do. Like I have never been anywhere and seen a flight of gin. I have seen a flight of whiskey. I've seen, you could do like tequila tastings. Like I've seen those. I have never seen gin tasting. And immediately I was like, bleh. One, the first alcoholic beverage, the first thing I ever had got drunk off of was gin. It was Tanqueray. And so for the longest time, I thought Tanqueray didn't have any taste, but what it was is I had been drinking down watered down Tanqueray because my friend would sip out of it and then put water in it, so her family didn't know. So by the time I got to it, it totally was watered down, but it still got me drunk. And then I've had Tanqueray. I've had like what's that drink I used to drink? I used to use Bombay Sapphire and lime and club soda. What's that drink called? I don't know. I want to say Tom Collins, but that's not what it's called. Um, gin and tonic. I'm so dumb. Why was I like, what is that drink called? Gin and tonic. I used to love gin and tonics, but like, I tried one the other day, or not the other day. I've tried one again since I started drinking, and I was like, I don't like this. This is not tasty at all. And so him and his mother, they go and Marvin go gin tasting, and the mother is quite excited to have the gin run through her body so that she could use this as an excuse to make Marvin feel uncomfortable, which she does. So Colin goes to the bathroom conveniently, and Marvin starts to tell the mother that he would like to propose to Colin, and the mother's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! You need to take your time. Back in my day." and she has the best electric blue nail polish on. Back in my day, we would, date for 6, I don't know what she said, but whatever it was pseudo a lie. She's like, we would date for a year and then get engaged, then be engaged for a year and then get married. So like, this feels very rushed. And I was like, if that is the case, then they're right on track because they have been talking for a year. So if they've been talking for a year, getting to know each other for a year, then I mean, the only thing that you're skipping is the like being in the relationship for the year, but they've been in a relationship, getting to know each other. Like, what does it matter? Let them get engaged. They're adults. And so then she's like, so slow down. That completely takes the winds out of Marvin's sails. So then the next day, when Colin and he go on a walk, what through which looks like a cemetery, but it's probably not. It's just probably something that I identify as one. They walk through some sort of park that has like stone things coming out of the ground. And Colin is so impatient and rude. He's like, well, it's beautiful. And I'm like, it's definitely very dreary right now. What do you mean it's beautiful? He's like, I took him to a place where it would have been a great place to get proposed to. And then finally he's like, can't stand it anymore. He's like, where's the ring? And Marvin's like, you're just gonna have to like be patient and calm down. And I said the same thing. Don't say, where's the ring? Don't say, where's the ring? And I don't like that. So it leads me to like, Marvin just really wants to be in love. He wants to be able to express his love. Marvin wants to be able to live in a space, be in a world where he is able to have a boyfriend and express the love that he feels inside for whomever. And so he found that in Callum. I'm never going to be able to say Calum. I'm never going to be able to say this name right. Callum. He found this in Callum. And Callum, whilst he doesn't want kids and probably doesn't want a family and obviously would make a horrible spouse, in my opinion, wants love. He just wants to be proposed to. He wants this fairy tale. He wants the idea of it more than he actually wants the person, I truly believe. And so, I don't know, that was just so tacky. And so Callum knows that his mother must have said something, and I guess now he's going to go on damage control because he also said that, I know you're very mad at your family right now. So it looks like it must be that Callum and his mother have gotten into some kind of argument, and Marvin is like feeling awkward about it, which it always feels awkward. I think Callum is an only child, and I was talking in my other live about sometimes like, because I've had friends who are only children, and sometimes when they get into arguments with their parents in front of the friends, it is the most awkward thing ever. And I'm not saying not only childs don't do this. This has just been my experience with only childs, and so I've always like kind of deduced it to this must be what it's like, is that their parents take on a role of like friend and parent just naturally because the child doesn't have like another person in the house to be their friend, like but their parents. And so sometimes like boundaries that I wouldn't necessarily carry on with my parent just because my parents and I are never friends when I was little. I think me and my dad are like friends now, but like I would never do. And I'm wondering if that's what happened. If after the gin tasting, um, Callum like got into an argument with his mother over her comments to Marvin. And it feels like they would. Thanks, Shannon Van. Shannon Van and I bonded over ice cream yesterday, you guys. Oh my god, the ice cream's still in the freezer. It's so good. I ate too much of it. It's cookie butter. Oh my god, it's so delicious. But anyways, it just feels like, what are you guys saying? Oh, you guys are just talking about that. Anyways, it just feels like I could definitely see Marvin feeling awkward if Callum has gotten into some kind of row with his mother about Marvin while Marvin is there. And so now the energy is awkward, But for whatever reason, Callum doesn't think that. It's so crazy. Like the times I've been around friends and they've gotten into arguments with their parents, and I'm just like there, like wanting to like be Homer Simpson and just like merge into the hedge. Like, I don't want to be here. It's awkward, because I mean, I used to have the opposite happen to me. I feel like my mother always tried to use the times when my friends would come over to chastise me. I mean, she did it while they weren't there, but when they were there, she really like put it on because she wanted them to side with her to shame me, or she wanted to shame me in front of them to change behavior. And it was always awkward for my friend. And I remember always having to apologize and be like, I'm really sorry. Like, I'm sorry my mom doesn't like, I'm sorry you had to hear that. Like, it was always so awkward because it's like, this is not the time and the place. And this person should not be privy to this information. And they're not sitting back, like eating popcorn, yucking it up. They're like feeling mad awkward. So, anyways, there's that. Oh, yeah, you guys, don't forget to like and give it a thumbs up. There are 79 of you guys in the room. Please give this video a thumbs up. Hi, Liverpool lass. Welcome. So anyways, I want Marvin to go home. I don't want him to be with Callum now. I just feel like Callum is gonna just be a bunch of problems. And I think if things don't work out, Callum and his family and his friends are gonna be like, see, I told you, see, I told you. And I just don't feel like Marvin going to Scotland is a safe space. Like, I just don't think it's right. I don't think that it's right for Marvin. I feel like he needs to, I don't know, figure out a way to move to London or the UK on his own and then like organically find somebody, or continue to date Callum, but don't marry him. It feels like a way out, and I don't want that for him. Okay. Let's move on to Sean and Christine. Cause oh wait, was there a little bit about them? Or is that gonna be next episode? No, I think that's it. Let's talk about Sean and Christine. I think we only talked about these 4 couples this episode, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry. So, Sean and Christine. So, Christine talks to her children every day, and her children want to know how Sean's behaving and if everything is good. And Christine has to put on a brave face and say that everything is good, that Sean follows her rules, and that she's very happy, and XYZ. So we then get a scene where Christine has found out that Sean hasn't been paying any bills in order for him to send money to her. I'm not saying that I envy this quality, but there are a lot of people in life who choose to not pay bills over buying clothes or just doing things for themselves. And I have never been one of those people. I just don't understand that mind frame where you're like, you know what it is? I just thought about it. If I were the type of person to be like, I work hard for this money and I don't have enough to pay you and to like buy this outfit, but this outfit is going to make me feel better than having lights. I'll just burn candles instead. That's what I'll do. So that I feel like that's who Sean is. Like, giving money to Christine gave him far more purpose in life, fulfilled him in a different way, far more than if he had paid his bills. So she gets there and realizes all of this. So it's like she just keeps getting information about his credit. Like, I guess he's just taking out credit cards and putting everything on credit and then not paying them. I mean, it is like it's bad. It's bad. Because then he finally tells her, like, after having a conversation with his mom, and his mom is still blaming Christine, which is so crazy to me. It's so interesting how people can. It's the same thing with the homewrecker conversation for me. It's interesting to me that everybody wants to blame the person that's outside of the relationship for wrecking the home. but it's the person who's in the relationship that's wrecking the home. Everybody wants to blame the foreigner for making the person who's whatever, who's not foreign, spend all this money on them. Oh, you're making him send you money. You're making him buy you clothes because if you didn't, then you wouldn't talk to him. No, that's that other person being a fool. It's them being a fool. Like, oh, you're telling him if he doesn't give you money, you're not going to talk to him anymore. And then that's that person's cue to go like, oh, that person doesn't love me. So I don't want to, I don't want to have to buy somebody's love. But no, the person goes, no, I think I don't have enough self-esteem. And yeah, I am kind of an awful person. And I do have money to give to them. And like, so if that's gonna help them stay, like my self-esteem is low and I think this person's hot and so much better than me. And if part of the balance is me giving them money, then I'm more than happy to do that because all I want is their love and I'll buy it if I have to. Why can't we see Sean as the problem? Sean is the problem. He's like depressed or something. He's got like things going on, you know what I'm saying? To where he would not even only fake a whole life, but just put himself like $60 a month in order to give to them because giving to them makes him feel so good inside while his world is literally crumbling around him. And the mom wants to blame Christine. So the mom has I guess tea with her son and she explains that, Sean usually is going to everybody asking for money in order to stay afloat. So not only is Sean like not afloat, like people around him know he's not because he's asking to borrow money constantly. And so yeah. I'm confused too, JF, but I just think that whatever his mental problem is that he wasn't able to concentrate at work. I just don't know. I just don't know. I just do not know. So, yeah, he's got some like I don't know, some kind of mental attachment issue. Girl, I don't know. There's some clinical study that shows that Sean is like other people. Like I don't know. So Christine not only finds out that he's in debt, she then finds out that he hasn't paid anything in the last like X amount of time. And then he pulls her to the side after he has the conversation with his mom. And all throughout his confessionals, he's like, I'll tell her when the time is right, but I will tell her. Don't worry. I'll tell her when the time is right. The time's not right now. Not right now, right now, not right now. Okay, I'm going to tell her now. Okay, because I want to come clean and I want to tell her. So then he finally comes clean and he basically says, I can't send any money to your kids. I don't have anything. I stepped down from my job. I don't have anything. And his mom is like, you're working from sun up to sundown. And maybe it's wherever they live because I guess some places just don't have industry of where I live, right? Because I'm trying to think about how much like the lowest amount I could get paid and survive. And if I were getting paid $15 an hour, 100% I wouldn't be able to survive in California. Not at all. Not by myself. Never. I wouldn't be able to bring anybody over. But he's been working for years, hasn't he? I guess I just don't know. I don't know. Because this sounds like sometimes when I think about like how much people are getting paid, I put myself back in my 20s and think like, oh, that's how it was then. But the truth is that like at 40, it feels like there's just so many more options because you have so much life skills that you should be able to like, even if you are starting off at the beginning, usually, unless you've been in jail or you've had like a drug addiction for the last 15 years, usually you've gotten to a place in your life where you can make more than minimum wage. It doesn't necessarily need to be a lot a year, but it's more than minimum. And I think Sean is he has his own place, so at some point he was making enough to get his own apartment. Like there's just like a number that I will never make less than at this point in my life. And it's not because of education, it's not because of, whatever. It's just simply because of life experience. It's simply because of like other job experiences that I've had. I will never not make a certain amount of money. I just don't know. I just don't know. So he tells Christine about that, and she calls him an idiot and calls him stupid. Now, I didn't like that. I don't enjoy name calling. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's nice. And I wonder if it was some kind of like, some people find the word stupid and idiot not as damaging as like other words. To me, they are just as damaging, if not worse, because I feel like stupid and idiot kind of plays on your intelligence. And like the one thing I am not is dumb. The one thing I'm not is stupid. Like, yeah, you can make idiot moves. Yes, I would say Sean is an idiot. But like I would never call him that. And I see why she's frustrated, because she's been telling her kids and everybody that she's going to be able to continue to support them. And she gets here and she realizes that she's not going to be able to do that. And so she did not set them up for success. So then she's like, "Well, why didn't you tell me that before I left so that I could put other things in place to make sure my kids had money?" And he says, "Well, I didn't want to tell you." And she's like, "Oh, it's because you thought I wasn't going to come then, right? You thought if you told me the truth and I wasn't going to come, like I was only using you for your money." And he's like, and the truth is he doesn't know. He doesn't know because he's built their entire relationship up on lies. He's never given her the opportunity to want him for his poorness, to want him for him. He's always put the money first, as like, here, I have all this to give you because I love you, but also then there's me. And so she gets so frustrated that she ends up just leaving Christian with him and going to be with her friend. Now that part was fake, because I'm like, you're gonna leave your son with this man? I mean, listen, I'm not saying that you shouldn't leave a son with the father, but it just feels irresponsible knowing what we know about Sean. So she goes to Birmingham to hang out with a friend and have a conversation. It's nice to know that she has somebody in London or in the UK that is not just Sean. And Sean just lets her go without a hitch. So I was like, oh my God, this is so fake. He's like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm packing. I'm packing to go be with my friends, and I don't know when I'm going to come back. Girl, you know you're going to come back. You're not leaving that baby with him. But she now has a lot of things to think about it. And it's interesting. She's like, I can't even work while I'm here to help because I'm on a tourist visa. She's on like a family tourist visa. And it's because of the baby. And so she at some point is going to have to go to the Philippines, and like, is she going to try to come back? Or are they going to do the K1 visa process or the spousal visa process? Who knows? Who knows? Can he get a second job? If he has, can he just get a second job and just like, I don't know, work forever? He's just going to have to work forever because of the choices that he's made. I feel like Sean's house situation was all like anxiety and depression. Like there are plenty of people I think who have these issues, but you're right. Like people walk into spaces, know what they need to do, and get so overwhelmed and they just walk right out and close it. I mean, he's on another level because he puts dirty dishes underneath the cupboard. He can't even like turn the water on. But then also my thought is, does he have water? Did he stop paying the water bill? Like there a person, a grown adult who takes a plate that they have eaten on and doesn't even dribble some water on it so that the stains or like the crust can like come out of it, takes the fully dirty item, opens up a cupboard and puts that in there and then closes it. You have got to be semi out of your mind to do that. Are there water? Oh, there are water bills in the US, so that's why I said that. I have no idea. I have no idea. You guys don't pay for water? So just like, so your water will never be turned off? In the States, we pay for gas, which is usually your stove and like the thing that heats your water. I think gas is like a heating thing. So we pay for stove, we pay for gas. And what else does gas do? So yeah, your stoves are gas. I mean, you can have an electric stove. Most people I know have a gas stove. I think gas goes to your water heater in order to keep your water hot. And then you pay for trash in some places, like for the city to come and pick up the trash from your house. You not only have to like pay monthly or buy outright the containers for the trash, you pay a monthly bill for them to come around and pick the trash up in the containers that they make you buy. Then you pay for water. So you could have your water shut off, even though like they don't shut water off until you haven't paid your bill for like 2 months. So a lot of these utilities, they don't shut them off until you haven't paid them for like over 90 days. Like your bill has to be like over 90 days past due in order for you to pay them, not pay them. Um, and here's my thing. Like when I lived alone in LA, my electric bill was like $50. My gas bill was like $30. So they're low. My trash, I didn't pay for it because I was in an apartment, but I don't know how much my parents pay for it in their home. Um, if you live in an apartment, usually the gas, the water, no, sorry, the trash is included. But it depends. Like sometimes it's not, or sometimes it's just added to your rent. Let's see, you pay for electricity. You pay for, yeah, so you pay for gas, water, electricity, and trash in California. 4 things. And then obviously if you have internet and TV and all those other things, you pay for that too. Remember when people used to pay phone bills? I mean, I guess people still do pay phone bills. I just don't. My phone bill just comes out automatically on one of my cards and I pay that card off, so I don't even see my phone bill for the most part. Our water bill is added to the rent and also trash. Hmm. I do believe water should be free though. You know, I I think it should if you have a well, like if you use your own water. We pay for all those things you mentioned. Okay, good, good, good. Water is a human right. I'm just like it is, but like how would you get it to your home if you like the people I just feel like a lot of times some of the things that we pay for is just the part of it is the labor. And so if it's to pay for the labor for the thing to get to you, then I agree that it should. But also like laying pipes, that takes a lot of money. You know, that takes people to like lay pipes. When you think about places like that are off in the boons by themselves, they have to like actually pay somebody to like dig up water and like electricity wells and like, like link the line. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. Anyways, I think that's all that we talked about. Next week we're gonna see Emma and Hoyson, and we're gonna see more of Katie and Alejandro because it looks like Katie is gonna go back to Mexico to get married, which I love. So yeah, Sean and Christine. Also, it's so funny. They have how when before we see the couple, they do like a moment of the couple either happy or sad. They're standing next to each other and they're like, or if they're mad, they're like, Sean and Christine's mad at each other one is crazy. Like Christine looks like they look like Street Fighter. Like when two people are going to go up against each other and they're like looking mean at the camera. Like Christine is like, and Sean is like, and I just laughed. I watched it so many times because I was like, they told these people to be mad at each other and they look like they're about to fight. They look like cartoon characters that are about to fight. Yeah, it was just so funny. Thanks, Labracina. Bye. It was so funny. It was just so funny. Why you make me laugh when you say hoisin? That's a sauce we use on duck. It's pronounced Hussein. Oh, I know that's what hoisin sauce is. But when I see it, I don't see the name Hussein. She says hoisin. You know what? Here's the truth. I went to school with a kid named with that last name, and he spelled it HU. So I was like, "Oh, it's not Hussein. It's Hoisin." Thank you for correcting me. I wasn't doing it on purpose. Oh my gosh. Hussein. That's funny. She doesn't call him Hussein. She does not call him Hussein. Unless she is saying it, but she has the accent on top of it and I'm not hearing it. It sounds like first of all, it sounds like she's calling him Sin. So I thought his name was Hosin. But is it Husin? She calls him Sin. Yeah, I already talked about Pat and Sam Mac review. I already did. She calls him Sin. So is she calling him Husin? I don't know. Let's talk. Let's discuss it in another time. All right, you guys. That's the end of this live. I'm gonna go and get some rest. I'm very tired. I had a rough night last night and most nights prior to that. I've been feeling a little under the weather. And I'm also gonna get on a plane tonight. I forgot I'm traveling today. So I will see you guys next week when we talk about 90 Day Fiancé UK. I only have one show to talk about. Any suggestions on other shows I should be talking about right now? I know that I'd obviously be picking it up mid-season. Or do I have to talk about 90 Day Fiancé Single Life? Oh my God, do I have to talk about the Single Life? Do you guys watch the Single Life? Okay, well, we'll discuss it another time. Thank y'all for being here. You guys have a fantastic day. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. No, don't do it. No. Ooh, Married at First Sight UK. Is that how do I find that? I'll try to look for it. But also, is it already like halfway in? We'll see. All right. Bye.